Welcome back everyone to more of our 2022 racing season. And in today's video, it's time to head back to Las Vegas, but this time in the Xfinity cars. Now, if you were with us yesterday, you got to see some great action in the truck series at Las Vegas, but the Xfinity cars could not be more different. The trucks spend a lot of time on the throttle, whether it's full throttle or maybe half throttle, but you're very rarely ever fully out of the throttle. The Xfinity cars are the exact opposite. We're going to be completely out of the gas on corner entry and probably for multiple seconds until we get into the center of the corner. Particularly as the tires wear, it is going to be all about working the throttle, working the brake to try to maximize our speed. As you saw yesterday, we will definitely try to use the entire track, all the way down to the bottom of the track to the very top by the wall. But it gets very tricky when you get closer to that wall. So we're going to have to be very delicate in how we drive this car. A very different experience than the trucks, but that is exactly what we're looking for. So we hop into single race once again, Las Vegas 2018 TE version, 41 laps with realistic damage, and we hope that realistic damage does not come into play. But again, these things slip and slide quite a bit in the Xfinity series, and I can't wait to get started.
Drivers, start your engines!
All right, the command has been given. It's time to go Xfinity racing in about a half a lap. So this race is going to be so different than the trucks, and I have to constantly remind myself of that. Since the last race I did at this track was in the trucks, I'm going to have to reset my mind on corner entries and when I need to get out of the gas, and that's going to be a bit of a guess because it's been a couple of days since I practiced with these things, so we're going to have to feel it out a little bit. Try to give the AI some room, make up positions where we can.
Green flag, green flag, green, green, green.
I did make one change to the track after the truck race. I felt like the AI were having too much tire wear, so I have adjusted that, not just for the trucks, but for the other two series as well. We'll see. I didn't want to make a huge change and go too far in the opposite direction and have them not wearing tires enough. So we'll see how it goes. And after today's race, if I need to make another adjustment before the Cup race, we'll certainly do that. All right, if these guys are going to get single file like this at the back of the field and give me a few positions early on, I'll take that.
Still there, inside. Still there.
All right, I'm not in a big hurry to get 3 wide here, so I'm just going to try to be patient with this and pick up any spots we can. And right now, we're able to pick up a few as this high side is moving right along, just as you would expect at this track in traffic. It may be all about the bottom in qualifying and in single car runs.
9-6, clear. Stay high.
Moving up the track is what it's all about in traffic.
Clear. Inside.
So as much as I'm trying to fill out the AI right now, I'm trying to fill out my own car and see what I've got. Where do I need to be entering the corner?
Clear. Inside.
Oh,
Stay high.
yikes. That was not fun.
Still there. 31.
Car got really tight center off.
Inside.
Oh, yeah, a little fun on corner entry there. A little loose.
Stay high.
So just as with the trucks, I have loosened this car up, taken some of the stability out of it, and we're going to see what that means for us here in the
Clear
race.
inside. Inside. Clear.
Oh, just cannot get this thing to turn, particularly through 3 and 4.
30.976.
One and 2 is not near as bad. I'm still fighting that tight.
Keep high.
And I got to figure out something for 3 and 4. And again, part of that's just going to be the traffic, but I don't estimate that we're going to be out of the traffic anytime soon. So We're going to have to figure out how to deal with it.
0.023 inside. Clear inside.
Just need this thing to get strung out a little bit. Get everything to thin out. I did make some changes to the car set here for Vegas, but still have so many more to do. Still early in the season, and not a lot of the new schemes are available, at least not the ones that I'm having trouble finding.
Car inside. Still there. Stay high.
Yeah, we're definitely having to pedal this car. It does rotate better,
Clear inside.
but we still got more work to do on this thing. With the trucks, I think I found the time where it almost rotated a little too good sometimes. Here, I'm just simply fighting instability in the car. It's not necessarily rotating as much better, it's just more unstable right now, so more work to do as always. The good news though, it's not terrible. And I think we're going to be okay. I just don't know ultimately how much speed we're going to have here.
Stay high. Stay high. 31.250. Clear.
So on entry, I am using a little bit of brake just to try to calm down the car a little bit, get it to settle into the corner. But not a lot. It's more than anything right now. It's just to sort of set up what groove I want to run in.
Clear inside.
But I'm definitely working the throttle a lot more here than I did in the trucks.
31.203.
Which is actually good for me because that's the way I prefer to drive a car anyway, is more so than I prefer to drive it with the brakes or even the steering wheel. I prefer to drive it with the throttle pedal.
Clear.
And these cars give me exactly that ability. All right, so we've made up a few spots.
31.166.
Still trying to be pretty easy with the car. Don't want to push it right to the edge. We've got a long run here. 40 laps doesn't seem like very long, but on tires it can be. And if you really wear out your tires the first half of the run, then you'll realize that fact at the end.
30.954.
But you can see, now that we got some clean air, the car drives a lot better. Surprise, surprise. Not really trying to get all the way to the bottom. But you can see in 3 and 4, much easier to get closer to the bottom. I feel like a half a lane to a lane off is really better for me everywhere on this track. Car just feels better up there, and of course with the different grooves, that's what you would expect. All right, so we're running in 26th position. So it looks like some of the adjustments I made after the truck race were helpful. Just the difficulty of the AI a little bit. Adjust their tire wear and fall off. All those things just to make the racing as good as we can get it. But the car actually feels pretty good right now. Certainly not perfect. but it feels pretty good. Still pretty stable overall. Definitely more stable than the truck was. But of course, with stability
30
comes that trade-off of speed.
70.
All right, using a little bit more brake on corner entry now. Again, just to steady the car, really get it to settle down. Yeah, now that we've caught up to these guys, definitely feeling more tightness on that corner exit.
0.403.
That's where I'm really trying to be cognizant of that and not push the car too hard on exit. If I feel the car start to lose grip, then I'm simply backing out of it. Let the car rotate a little bit more to get back to the throttle. Definitely do not want to overdrive this car. So now the big question is going to be, because we got a huge group, I mean, we're all single file here.
2.
What are we going to be able to do whenever we get to these guys and start making passes? Now, if they're single file, it's easy enough. We just hang to the outside.
Car inside.
One at a time, like they are right now. But the real question is, are we going to be that lucky? Woo, really tight right there on corner exit. Had to back way out of it.
31.612.
All right, so clearly the changes I made are not having the desired effect. At least not as much as I needed them to have an effect. Just not getting the speed out of the car. It's just too tight on exit, really, in order to make the car do what I need it to do.
31.
Especially in traffic. Yikes.
2.
Right now, I am trying to figure out how I am going to make this happen to make up any more spots, because I do feel like I'm faster. But with the dirty air and everything, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to take advantage, because I am developing a big time push, particularly there in 3 and 4. So I'm going to have to figure something out.
31.809.
And of course, when other cars start to use the upper lanes, I mean, it just gives you an idea of what these guys face in real life. It's not as simple as saying, oh, we have a fast car, we're going to make passes.
Inside.
You see all the time guys who go from leading laps or running in the top 2 or 3
Still there.
to struggling mid-pack after maybe a bad pit stop, and you wonder, why are they coming back up through the field? It's because they can't run where they want to run, and with the dirtier air,
Inside.
the car doesn't handle the same. And that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same, but the intended effect is the same. The frustration factor.
Stay high.
So you can hear me working with, oh, we got one off the pace there. Looks like he lost a motor.
32.02.
We got a front row seat for that. So now as the tires start to wear, are we able to gain spots? Hopefully. Because right now, first goal for me is get inside that top 20. That's always what I'm looking for, to get in the top half of the field.
31.992.
Obviously, starting in the rear of the field, you're dealing with all of the dirty air. But man, if I could get this car to handle in 3 and 4 the way it's feeling in 1 and 2, we would be a lot better off. But the exit of 3 and 4, I have nothing for it right now.
Still there. Clear inside.
Thankfully, we're able to make up some positions.
31.935. Inside. Keep high.
Yeah, the exit of 1 and 2 is no problem at all compared to 3 and 4. The amount of extra pedaling I'm having to do on that throttle for 3 and 4
Clear.
makes 1 and 2 seem like Talladega.
Inside. Stay high. 31.774. Clear inside. Car inside. Still there. Stay high.
All right, now we're talking. Now we're starting to pick off some guys.
Clear inside.
So what it looks like is happening is these guys have pretty good pace on new tires, but their tire wear is a little bit worse than mine, or the fall off, I should say, is a little bit worse than mine. So that seems to be the way it's working right now.
32.080.
And we'll see as the run
You're down to the top 20.
continues.
Good job.
As the run continues, whether that continues to be the case, because remember, I'm wearing my stuff out too, trying to come through traffic. And I'm trying to minimize that as much as possible.
Car
Easy there,
inside.
78.
Clear inside.
Oof. Every time I think I've got 3 and 4 better, I end up overdoing it.
32.263. Inside. Clear inside. Car inside.
I feel like I'm driving 3 and 4 like we're at
Still
Dover.
there.
Drive it into the corner, let it rotate, get
Still
back to
there.
the gas,
Keep digging. 32.
then have to get back out of it again and let the car rotate again. Just cannot stay with it. The car is just too tight under the throttle.
Stay high. Clear inside.
Car rotated on the second opportunity on the gas really nicely there.
32.1.
If I can get it to do that every time, we'll be okay. I'm inching up here ever closer to this wall, but like that, at some point it's going to reach out and bite me if I continue to get that close. Now, if I could just inch up there and, you know, tap the right rear off of it, kind of like I did in 1 and 2 there, I'd be fine. Because that's not going to do any damage. It's not really going to slow us down. But then you get what just happened coming off turn 4 there.
32.16.
Okay, so we're up to, what is that, 17th, 18th? Not sure if it's fully updated for the last pass or two that we made. But the theme of today's race is turns 3 and 4. Trying to move back down the track a little bit and see just what the difference is. Now right now these guys are side by side, so there's nowhere for us to go anyway. And I'm thinking, oh yeah. Luckily we didn't hit it very hard, but we tagged that wall there.
32.817. Keep high. Clear.
Yeah, I'm going to officially label turns 3 and 4 at Vegas my nemesis. Because I am getting nowhere fast over here. I mean, we're still, even with all of that, we're still doing good overall in the race. I mean, we're up to 18th, and I'll take that. There was a time when we were running about 25th, and I wasn't sure a top 20 was going to be possible. But we've made that happen. So now I'm looking at the top 15. I mean, it's right there in front of us. But you could see that last time. I mean, I hit the gas.
32.4.
And it just went straight. And I realized pretty quickly, it's like, we're just going to have to bail on this corner. And we still ended up tagging the wall a little bit. Yeah, this might as well be a very different track to me in turns 3 and 4. Amazing how different two ends of the track can be.
32.70.
You'd think we're talking about Darlington. But even turns 1 and 2, I'm still having to work that throttle and that brake. And that's the best end of the track. But that's one of the reasons why I really love the Xfinity cars. So much time off the throttle, so little grip.
32.557.
Of course, these guys running 2x2 up here are not helping my case at all. So I'm going to need you guys to figure it out.
Inside.
And get single file if at all possible, please.
Keep high.
All right, we do not want to be 3 wide coming off this corner. So I'm
Keep high.
trying to follow the 31-3.
Stay high. Clear inside.
If you can see that, oof, look out.
32.723.
I think I lost the nose there on the straightaway. All right, we'll back up, reassess, we'll try it again. Just imagine if the AI moved around like we can. Wouldn't that be amazing? We'd never make any passes. We'd just be dirty air everywhere, and they'd be blocking maneuvers all over the place. But that's what they deal with at pretty much every track that's bigger than about a mile in real life, and some tracks that are less than a mile. They deal with that same thing. All right, Alfredo, I'm going to need you to just keep making passes up here.
Stay high. You're up top. 3 wide. Car
Oh, no, I don't want to hear that. No 3 wide here.
Still there. 32.7.
Back out of it and let everybody get it gathered up. Wait, white flag? Seriously? Okay, I must admit, I thought we had about 15 laps to go. I've just been so intent on trying to figure this thing out and make up spots. I literally had no idea we were on the white flag. I had no idea we were even close to that. All right, so we'll get all we can get coming to the line.
32.796.
Wow. White flag. Okay, all right. Let's try the bottom.
Keep low.
I went in there pretty soft and delicate because I really didn't want to wreck him. And I wasn't sure how deep I could go in there, so I decided discretion was the better part of valor.
All right, there's the checkered flag.
Okay, so after all of
Get the
that,
heck out of here.
how did that turn out? We were 15th. I'm not sure I believe it. Okay, these guys are not going to give me a chance to get down. There we go. So a top 15 after all of that feels like a win. It feels like a top 5 like we got with the trucks after everything that we just went through. And I swear to you, that was the fastest 40 laps that you can possibly run. All right, so let's hop out of the car and take a look at how things finished up. Now, you want to talk about speed? Look at this. We were 19 seconds off the lead. Now, unfortunately, too much training for my enjoyment here at this track, but that's one of those things I just try to overlook here at this place as opposed to some of the other tracks where I feel like it's not quite as bad. But look at AJ Allmendinger just running away with this thing. He and Noah Gragson and Harrison Burton, which I still cannot bring myself to remove from the car set. These three ran away from everyone. Then you get about 8 seconds back, and then from there on, it's 12 plus seconds. How many people got lapped? See, we had an accident. We had a tire. So what I thought was an engine expiring turned out not to be, unless that was perhaps Gray Galding that lost an engine after an accident. So a few people, a lap down. Okay, not bad. But again, this track leaves something to be desired from the AI, something that I'm hesitant to work on too much because I'm really hoping I can find a different version of the track ultimately that is a little bit better. But for our purposes right now, that was a lot of fun and certainly a very different type of race than what we saw in the trucks. Now the question is, what happens in the Cup Series? Are we battling more for a top 5 like we did with the trucks? Or are we battling to try to survive like we did today? Who knows? But we're going to find out very soon.